Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. It's Rad, and in tonight's live stream we're going to focus on the new moon that it is happening into Aries, and that takes place on the 21st of March, which is a couple of days from now. Okay, and a bunch of things are happening almost at the same time, right? For one, it is the I don't know how you call it in English, but that is the equilibrium in between the day and the night, okay? Which also marks the start of the new astrological, not astronomical, but also astrological year. Then we do have Pluto that enters into Aquarius. That is also an important transit. Pluto enters in a star sign in decades, okay? So that is also important, although Pluto is going to retrograde, is going to get back into Capricorn, and then is going to enter again into Aquarius. So there is going to be a lot of going on into that department. But tonight's live stream, like said, is going to be about the new moon in Aries itself. And as I'm not an astrologer, I'm not going to even try to break down astrologically wise that event, but instead what we're going to do here is that I'm going to look into it through the philosophy and the eyes of tarot. And now, if you had paid attention to the thumbnail, or if you observed the thumbnail instead, you would have saw 5 cards which stand as now the first one, that is the 9 of Wands. Then the second card, that will be the Queen of Cups. Followed by the third card, which is the Ace of Cups. Then the fourth card for the collective reading for that new moon, that will be Justice. Hey, Rocky, welcome to the stream. And the final one, that will be the Page of Swords. Okay, so I think that that's not a coincidence that we do have those cards in that particular new moon that it is taking place into Aries with the new astrological year and so on and so forth. And it is because what those cards are divulging here collectively wise, are that things are gonna start, things are gonna move forward. I don't want to say move on, but like move forward, and it is exactly what we gotta do as well. That is because we do have the Queen of Cups. Let me put the cards on here. So that is why that is because we do have the Queen of Cups sitting here, and that is what we should not do, so to speak. That is how this position stands into the spread. And in that particular lineup of cards, Queen of Cups, it is when, you know, thou kind of like does nothing really. It kind of like hopes that things are going to remain the same, but they won't. They won't, because of the 9 of Wands, that it is at the very prime of the reading. That is the very topic, the very essence of the whole event, okay? And the 9 of Wands, that card is very often misinterpreted, but basically 9 of Wands, it is when things get settled the way that works best, okay? And as things are settling the way that works best, not for you, not for Lauren, not for James, but collectively do work best, that is how we need to settle ourselves as well, which pretty much means that we will have to move. And in fact, it will be quite difficult not to, right? That is because of the Ace of Cups being into the third position, right? That card here. So what the Ace of Cups pretty much speaks of, it is that we have to follow, simply said, the happiness. And that's why it's going to be very difficult to miss it. For our cue, right, for our green light, so to speak, is going to be through a impending change, let's put it that way. So through impending change that transcends our day-to-day routine into something which we are gonna freaking love it. Okay, so whatever we love happening, that's the direction we have to move. We have to move, not take it for granted, not hoping that, you know, it's gonna stick, for it won't if we don't move alongside with it as well. And if you do see it a bit overwhelming, because for some it's going to be piece of cake, I mean, that impending change. For others, though, like I said, a bit overwhelming, don't you worry, for you do pretty much have yourself covered, or rather the universe has you covered, with that Page of Swords being onto the 5th position. Now the 5th position are the energies which are supporting you, which is helping you moving forward. And the Page of Swords stands for nothing else but very, very unexpected help that is going to come at the least expected moment. So whichever way you see it, even if you do see, I don't know how to put it into English, even if you are seeing your situation hopeless or helpless, or both, right? Throughout the next couple of weeks, there are going to be helping hands coming your way. So it will be important that you, me, or whomever that thing comes around, falls into such a situation, to kind of like swallow our pride. It will be very, very important. But above everything else, it's the lesson that we will have to learn within the next couple of weeks, or we're going to learn it. Some are going to learn it very easily. Others will have to do it the hard way around. The lesson is with the Justice. Okay, and so actually there are a few lessons with that. The one is that every action has a consequences. Okay, and no actions bear consequences as well. But also the lesson is that there is how can I put it into words? There is a, so to speak, chain of custody. Okay, chain of custody of thy happiness, chain of custody of thy success. And if we do want to be a part of it, we must be a part of that chain of custody, so to speak. And therefore we need to bear some responsibilities and also some of the consequences moving forward. Long story short, a lesson is, if we are to break it down simply, guys, the lesson is that if you do want something to happen to you, rather if you do want something to materialize for you, whether success, whether love, or freedom, peace, whatever the case, it's not coming from the outside, but rather we have to work for it. The difference this time around is going to be that we are going to have the openings for it. Thank you, Carol. Yeah, it was a good one. Hello, Jasmine, and as well, Shanna. Jasmine, thank you so much for the $19.99 US dollar support. Thank you, Jasmine. And Rocky as well. Thank you for the $27.99 Canadian. Thank you, Rocky. You girls, you're gonna have your personalized reading for how this new moon in Aries is gonna affect you personally at the end of the stream. A second. All right, let me put the question as an inquiry. All right, it's set as an inquiry, Rocky, so we're gonna check that one out. All right, a few notes about the show for anyone who is going to be new to the live stream, or when it forms as a video. So what we are going to do here, or what I am going to do here, is 12 readings, one for each star sign. I'm going to start from Aries and I'm going to end up with Pisces. I'm going to tell you right away, Jasmine, hold on a second. At 0 degree and 49 minutes, okay, 0 degree 49 minutes, happening 1:23 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it's going to be at the very, it wouldn't hit the 1st degree yet, but it's going to be in Aries. That's what this calendar is showing up here. Okay, so 12 readings, one for each star sign. I'm going to start with Aries and I'm going to end up with Pisces. If you do wish to have a personal reading with me, you can always go to my website, which link you're going to find in the description down below. And there at the very front page, you're going to see a full list of my services and also their pricing. And finally, if you do decide to support the stream and the channel through Super Chat, you're going to have a personalized reading at the end of the stream should your Super Chat bears no inquiry. The reading is going to be about the new moon in Aries and how that celestial event is going to affect you personally. Oh, I get it, Rocky. So basically, you do want to know how to fit in better. That's basically what your question implies. Let me know if that's not exactly the case. Right, starting up now. First things first, we do have Aries. All right, first one for Aries, that will be the 10 of Swords, followed by the 4 of Pentacles. Moving on, next we do have Justice. Afterwards, that will be the Chariot. And the final one for Aries, that will be the Queen of Swords. Here. So you may even surprise yourself in the next couple of weeks, guys. Anna, thank you so much for the $20 support. Thank you, Anna. At the end of the stream, as usual, you're gonna have your personalized reading for the new moon in Aries. An Aries reading quite fitting here that we do have. Quite fitting. So what happens, or what the incentive for you is going to be for the next couple of weeks, Aries, is that you're going to make some important moves or decisions, or at least you're going to have the incentive to do so. Those are going to be moves and decisions that there is no going back from. I don't know how to exactly start explaining what the feeling really is going to be for you. That is when a person realizes that it has to pretty much make a step towards something or somewhere, because let's put it that way, the results they're sitting on currently are melting away, okay? And soon there will be nothing left into sitting into. That is no different, for example, when a person realizes that they can't stay at the job they are, or they will not gonna have a family with the person they're with, like, ever, right? Or I don't know how to, or that they're not gonna be happy where they live, and so on and so forth. And although you may not want to do it, you will realize that some action has to be taken into that regard, into that direction. So you do make some kind of like transition. The word is transition into, or toward rather, a new dawn in your life. Now, I don't know much about you as a star sign, and in fact it will depend a lot of what kind of a planets you do have in your natal chart and your houses and all that. But according to these cards here, guys, it seems that you are gonna make it with a rather big ease here. I mean, your conviction that you are doing the right thing for yourself and that you do matter now is gonna be on the top of its peak. And therefore, whatever difficulties you may be facing in regards to making those irrevocable decisions or irreversible actions, okay, it won't be a big deal for you. It's just, you know, the conviction, or you being convinced into your self-righteousness is going to carry you on, forward. And for what many people may think that it is very, very difficult to accomplish, for you is going to happen to be a very big piece of a cake. Rather like a very big piece of a cake. A piece of cake. So don't be surprised. My point here is that don't be surprised within the next couple of weeks if you out of nowhere decide that you should quit your job, or that you should quit your relationship, or you should do something that it kind of like it contradicts your character at this point. Because it will be the move that will pretty much going to strive you toward a new dawn in your life, for what those cards here are showing. And all that will be accomplished only by yourself. You ain't gonna need any help. So you will be very proud at the end of the day from what you are able to come up with and what you are able to accomplish. Hello, Lady Panther and Eve's channel. Well, I am well, yeah. All right, next, we do have Taurus. I hope you're well as well, guys. The Tower for Taurus, followed by the Devil. Afterwards, we do have the Eight of Pentacles. Then is the Six of Swords. And then we do have the Hangman. It's like a revolution, but in a not in a grand scheme, not in a grand scale, right? But it is a revolution. Think of it that way. Think of it that you do have some kind of a plan. Okay, think of it that you do have a plan to kind of like enthrall a person, right? And under enthrall, I mean to kind of like grab their attention and ride the tide, right? Or you do have a plan to establish business, or some kind of a plan. And of course, when you do have a plan, you are anticipating certain conditions to come true so that plan can be initiated. Well, it's a revolution because the conditions are going to be quite premature and unlike those you have anticipated, but nonetheless a conditions about right to make you initiate your plan. To make you initiate your plan getting that person, for example, to get to like you, or that plan to get a promotion, or that plan to establish your business. This is what we do have here, and it will depend very much on what kind of an individual you are. Okay, for example, if I were Taurus, I would never gonna be able to make this thing work. That is because I am no risk taker. That is because I kind of like, I need to have my assurances that things are gonna work out, you know, that nothing bad is gonna come out of it, and so on and so forth. Here a lot of risk is involved, or seemingly a lot of risk is involved. Or in other words, are you afraid of trying out? I am. I can safely say I am afraid of trying out. Okay. But for you, if you aren't afraid of trying out, for what those cards are showing, beautiful things can happen. It's just they're not gonna happen, or at least they're not gonna start happening under the conditions you have anticipated. Okay, that is how the new moon, I'm sorry, is going to manifest for you. So yes, it is a start. Many of you may consider it that it is a false start, but it is a start nonetheless, and it is a start that will allow you to initiate, to start developing a thing that you had prepared, a thing that you had planned. I need to open up here a bracket, so to speak. That is what we do call in Bulgarian, to insert a thought. That this manifests very strongly for people which are single. So if you are a Taurus and you are single, highly likely to have a crush within the next couple of weeks. Okay, and it's going to be a mutual thing, and these are going to be, you know, these conditions that are allowing you to be in a relationship, but they're not going to be conditions you probably expected to have a relationship started under, right? Maybe you had your conditions being getting to know the person, building up trust, and so on and so forth. And there you go. I mean, you do have a crush over someone. They do have crush over you. You don't know each other very much, but it's just the insatiable hunger being together is going to be there. Bottom line, it is that be ready or not, the time is nigh for your plans to be developed. And I hope you are courageous enough, for a lack of a better word, to make it work. All right, so that was Taurus. Next will be Gemini. Thank you, Lady Panther. Four of Pentacles for Gemini. Moving next, that will be the Three of Swords, followed by the Chariot. Afterwards is going to be the Four of Cups, and the final one, that will be the Wheel of Fortune. So guys, you're gonna have your incentive or your circumstances to consolidate, so to speak. Let's put it that way, to ensure the future of something, to make it long lasting. Think of it that way. If you had been a part-time contractor, or rather like you have been contracted on a trial period, that is what we call it here. You know, whenever you do apply for a job and they take you, you're on a trial for, or on a trial for the next 6 months. And after that, whether you do get a permanent one or not, it's entirely up to, you know, to the decision of your employer. Well, I'm just giving that for an example, but if that manifests, if this reading manifests for you in that regard, then it seems that, you know, you are going to have your incentive to secure that long-term contract. So that is how the reading plays out. For you, Cancer, within the next couple of weeks. You are to be called for action, okay, and that action will require quite of a dedication, quite of a hard work, for a lack of better words. Even at some points, it could feel overwhelming, okay, at work, or overwhelming in your love life, or overwhelming into your social circle. It will feel overwhelming, but this is the moment where you do put the hard work in order to make it long lasting for you, a long lasting relationship, a long lasting job, a long lasting friendship. If you want to earn the trust of someone, that is your moment here to do it. So, and you, like I said, you are going to have the incentive to earn that trust. That Three of Swords being into the second position, it's a card showing the dark thoughts that a person may have. What if I fail, right? What if I do something wrong? Why if I make a mistake? Oh, guys, I mean, we are humans. It's what we do, right? I mean, we do mistakes, but sometimes, and in this case, your time, even if you do mistake, sometimes out of those mistakes, the most beautiful things happen, right? So it will feel like you may do mistake, but if those cards are to be believed, you do have the Wheel of Fortune here at the third position, at the fifth, position. And these are the energies which are helping you, which are supporting you. The Wheel of Fortune is the energy of no mistake whatsoever. That is when you do have an opportunity and literally nothing wrong can go with it. Okay, that is if those cards are to be believed. You may consider it in extreme luck. You may consider it that the universe is holding your hand forward. You may consider it luck, or a fortune, or being blessed, whatever the case. But bottom line, it is that the circumstances, the forge of the circumstances will be at your side. I strongly suggest you to take it. So that was for Gemini. Next, we do have Cancer. Yasmin, thank you for the $20 super chat. Thank you, Yasmin. At the end of the stream, you're going to have your personalized reading. What in the world? Yeah. Thank you. All right, so Cancer. First one for Cancer, that will be the Four of Swords, followed by Page of Pentacles. Moving on next, that will be the Three of Wands. Afterwards, we do have the Four of Pentacles. And the final one for Cancer, that will be the Ten of Wands. So first off, you will have a lot of energy. I don't know how to put it into words, but a lot of energy to handle bullshit and shenanigans. To handle, so to speak, annoying stuff around chores, for a lack of a better word. Okay, so to handle chores. So whatever the tasks requires, Okay, whatever the undertaking demands, whatever your boss comes up with, okay, or whatever the client has a as a yearning, so to speak, you will have the capacity to handle it, to keep up with the game, right? To indulge those people which are to reward you, or those situations. They don't have to be just only people, but situations as well. So to indulge those entities in order to get the rewards which they do promise, should they be indulged. So that is a consider it that is a long game. If someone wants to play a long game, you definitely have what it takes to get into that long game. But you are going to be very careful into identifying what worth it and what doesn't, because yes, you are going to have rewards at the end of your performance. Thus, those rewards kind of correspond to the severity of the performance. That is not guaranteed. Okay, so you need to what you need to do is, whenever you do decide to play one game or another, to involve yourself into one undertaking or another, those cards are advising you to consult yourself with professionals, to consult yourself with a loyal and faithful companions if the situation does not have any professional to attach to. For example, if you do want to follow a certain diet to gain or lose weight, whatever your needs are, instead of, you know, kind of like taking one on random, it will be best to visit a dietologist so they can kind of like give you an advice into that direction. That is what those cards are showing here. But whatever it's bestowed upon you as a pattern, you have no problem following it and getting the results at the end. So if someone promises you results, you make sure that's a professional, because results are to be reached, promised. And if it's not professional, obviously, you may get yourself being beguiled into. But that's pretty much what we do have here for you, Cancer. So it will be very, very important. These next couple of weeks are imperative for you to determine again what worth it, what does have a value for you, and kind of like putting your mindset into that direction, whether in your love life, whether into your career, because this is the build up. All right, this is these next couple of weeks are kind of like the build up of determination, iron will, and as well as setting up yourself in order to follow the pattern which is gonna get you there. And you don't want to waste your time into a worthless efforts and as well goals. Hello, Shakti. Why should I, Lady Panther? By the way, a couple of minutes, guys, to catch up my breath, and then we're gonna move to Leo. Why should I call a cross-watching? I mean, these live streams are free. I mean, you can watch for whomever you want to. I mean, why would I call it out? If I do understand correctly, cross-watching. Well, guys, if you do want to have a personal reading with me, you can always have one going to my website, and there at the very front page you can see a full list of my services. Also their pricing, and if you do decide to support the stream and the channel through super chat or through a PayPal donation, you're gonna have your reading at the end of the stream. That's pretty much guaranteed. And should your super chat carries no inquiry with it, the reading is going to be about the new moon in Aries, for that is the topic of tonight's live stream, and how the new moon in Aries is going to affect you personally. Why would they say that? I mean, I'm sorry, but why would they care? The only incentive is for more views, although that's such a long shot. Okay, that is such a long shot. Why would I say that? And even if they do say that, does the cross watchers go away? They don't. So it only makes you look bad. I don't know. At least that is how I see it. But the only thing I can think of, it's for more views. So instead of you watching for people you want to know, about, you ask them to watch as well. That's the only thing I can come up with. Although there could be something else that I don't know. Okay. I don't know, that's beyond me. All right. Leo next. Now, if you do spy on people without their permission, like for example, let's say you do have an ex and you want to spy on them through readings, even through these, star sign readings, just in general, spying is not a good thing. Eavesdropping is not a good thing, okay? So from that perspective, I can understand, but at the end of the day, it's a free show. So if it is free, you don't get to... I mean, it doesn't do anything, right? Even if you are told to go away, you won't, because nobody has the power to kick you off unless you don't do stupid things in the chat. Okay, because if you do stupid things in the chat, you are going to get yourself banned. But if you don't even write in the chat, nobody knows, are you cross-watching or not, right? So this just only makes you look biased. Not even bad, but more like a bias. That thing is for these and not for that. It's like separating societies. Anyway, Leo. King of Wands, it is the first one. Followed by the Six of Pentacles. Moving on next, that will be the Death card. Afterwards, we do have the Hierophant. And the last one for Leo, that will be the Ten of Cups. Those 5 cards. Ten of Cups has a very minor impact here for you guys, and in fact I don't believe that is going to affect the most of you. Hello, Jen. Well, I mean, people have their own reasons, okay? And if you're doing general reading, I don't know, I don't want to get into it. So where were I? It is that the Ten of Cups would affect you very little. Many of you are not going to be. Because of the King of Wands being at the first position, that kind of puts, how can I put it into words? That kind of puts your attention already set, okay? And Ten of Cups, it's there only to help you if you are kind of like having doubts. Are you want to chase one thing or another? Or not more like is it good chasing it or not? And when I say chasing one thing or another, I do mean ambition rather than a specific individual or a specific job, right, or a specific entity, so to speak. This is more like ambition. Ambition to be happy, ambition to be successful, ambition to be renowned, and those kind of things. And now your ambition is going to start building up and accumulating momentum. And within the next couple of weeks, you will have the opportunity, Leo, to transform that ambition into a powerful drive. This drive should, how can I put it into words, should accommodate certain actions, but the drive itself is gonna break. For a lack of better word, I'm gonna say reality. Now, why I'm saying that? Because of the Six of Pentacles and the Death card, okay? It's gonna break reality, but not your reality, someone else's reality, because these two cards here, the Six of Pentacles and the Death card, being representatively on the second and the third position here and here, okay? It shows that you will leave things behind. You may leave people behind, you may leave tasks behind, you may leave hobbies behind, or attitude, behavior behind, recognizing that going forward with these accommodations will contribute in no way into making your ambition true, into being successful, into being happy, into being renowned, and so on and so forth. And this is going to break the reality of either those people or those tasks, and so on and so forth. So, long story short here, be prepared not to be liked by everyone, okay? But above everything else, you are gonna like yourself, and you are gonna like how things are developing for you through your own personal actions moving forward. And another thing it is that you, Leo, are gonna find enough time to enjoy your time. Or should I say, you are gonna find time to have a good time throughout the next couple of weeks in your spare moments, in your spare time. Eve channel, this is the Millennium Thought Tarot. All right, so that is Thought Tarot. Aleister Crowley's one, but that is a new revised version of it. So it's the Millennium Thought. Let me write it down here. That's that is the deck. I may have misspelled millennium. I do apologize for that in advance if I did so. All right, next, Virgo. Yeah, it's a revised, more colorful, more how can I put it into words? More shaped, so to speak, version. Because truth be told, the original one quite ugly. But I could have done better with the material which the cards are made from, because a few riffles and look what happens to the card. I mean, it bends so bad and it doesn't flex back. So it's the quality of the material which the cards are made from, it's not good one. Anyway, Virgo, Five of Cups, followed by the Page of Cups, Next, that will be the Four of Pentacles. The Empress. And the Five of Wands. Well, to me, it's very ugly. I don't like it at all. So I don't use it. Unless it's that one here. That's a short one, guys, for Virgo. And this new moon will be a confirmation that you have done the right moves or you made the right choice recently. And that confirmation is going to be more through new events which are going to take place, events that are going to be surprising, that is to say the least, because these events will help you to make a turnaround, so to speak, a reversal. So what your expectations could be within the next couple of weeks, it is that losses from decisions and from actions that you have recently taken are to be salvaged. I believe the word is reprimanded, returned, caught up with. I don't know how to put it into words, truth be told. The bottom line is that those losses are going to be regained. And disappointments that you do had with your job, say, with your beloved ones, with your children, with your friends. Now, those disappointments are going to be quashed under the new circumstances, and that will be the incentive you do, under which you will kind of like come up to the conclusion that nothing must change really, and you just have to keep on going forward. For keep on going forward, it's where the future lies for you, and not just only that, but also it is where you will have it secured also. Okay, so if you are but bottom line here is that Virgo, if you are feeling uneasy about your job, or rather like about your career, about your love life, about your friendships, wherever you're feeling uneasy into, that's where it manifests this this reading, and it's where you are to your mind is to be. Hold on a second, I need to mute my TV because Netflix kind of like freaked out. Sorry about that. Right, so it is where your mind is not at ease. That is where it's going to manifest, and is going to be and is going to set it at ease. For things are like, it may look magically, but it isn't. They are going to start working out. You know, when I was working full-time job, my last full-time job, that is, I had that colleague where whenever the project was start going south, and I was kind of like freaking out about it, he was always telling me, relax, man. I mean, that's just a job. And in fact, throughout my decades of experience, at the end of the day, things always works out. Okay? It may be kind of like by a thread, but they always work out at the end. So just relax. Don't stress yourself out, because you know. So that's pretty much what we do have for you here, Virgo, is that wherever you are not at ease, it seems that things are going to work out for you. What's my favorite deck? Oh, I do have quite a few. Okay, for example, that one here, the Illuminati Tarot. I do have the Mucha Tarot, the Art Nouveau Tarot. It's the other one. All reader weight based tarots are my favorite. Heaven and Earth Tarot as well. So I do have quite a few. Right, next that will be Libra. 6 of Wands. for Libra, followed by the Five of Cups. Moving on next, that will be Temperance. Afterwards, what we do have, that will be the Page of Wands. And the last one for you guys, that will be the Four of Cups. So you will have some kind of offer, but not from a person. That will be more like a an invitation to do a thing or to start a thing. It will be different for different Libra. Okay. And this will be because at some point within the next couple of weeks, it's kind of like the feeling of that you have to do something different or something more, will kind of like start nesting within you. And that's what you're going to do. And this is going to lead you to a great recognition and rewards. There isn't much that I can say anything about it. Aside from that, what you're going to come up with doing will be quite surprising even for you. And it will be a solo thing, meaning that you will not going to involve anyone else within this endeavor. Also, you may face a lack of understanding, a fair share of lack of understanding from your friends, colleagues, you know, even your family for that matter. But for what those cards are showing, people do not need to understand you, they do need to believe in you, and for what it seems they are going to. So it's very unlikely that you will face some kind of a human opposition along the path to your rewards, but you are going to be rewarded within the next couple of weeks. So you can expect here, Libra, to accomplish quite severe milestones, whether into your love life or whether into your career, and those milestones are going to lead you to a peak of experiences. It's important though to know that this isn't by far the end of the road, so you have barely scratched even the surface. And for that matter, I mean, you can take some time to enjoy, you know, the fruits of your labor, but you shouldn't forget yourself into that indulgence, for there is so much more than you can and that you should do. All right, so that was Libra. Next, that will be Scorpio. Three of Cups is for Scorpio, followed by Justice. Two of Pentacles is the third one. Moving on next, that will be the Queen of Wands. Very suiting for the Justice into the second position. The fifth one, it's very important for Scorpio, by the way. That will be the Knight of Swords. The King of Swords, I'm sorry. Knights in that deck are kings in the traditional. So we do have the King of Swords. All right. I will start with the Justice card. Justice being there into the second position of that spread, it kind of shows that for the duration of the next couple of weeks, anyone involved with us included, okay, can't get away with a lot. Well, can't get away with everything, so to speak. And for that, we have to think of what we are going to do about our life in general, about our love life, about our business, about our job, and so on and so forth. And the King of Swords is very important because this is the energy which supports us, and the energy of the King of Swords, it's always finding the way through, not pushing it, not forcing it, but rather navigating it and finding it. That is, however, through analysis, through conversations, through cooperation, for a lack of a better word. And also that energy always brings assets and incentive that we can make a use of. Now the use may be mutual. Okay, so this next couple of weeks, the universe may bring into our life a person who can help us solve certain issues, solve certain concerns that we do have, which is going to allow us to move forward with our path, to navigate our path forward. And the again, the contribution could be mutual, for we can help them with something they do have in their at their hands, right? So this isn't a charity. That's my point here. But bottom line, it is that one way or another for Scorpio, next couple of weeks are going to be a weeks of results, primarily with the Three of Cups being there, primarily on the social front, but it could be also on the business front as well. It does not constrain itself only to the social front, only to the social front, but the social front is going to be the most important one and the most strong one. With that Queen of Wands being into the fourth position, it kind of shows that we are going to grow to understand that we do have way more leverage over certain individuals, or one or another individual, and additionally to it, that people are more softer. I don't know how to put it into words. Let's say it that way. We will kind of like grow to understand that we mean more to some people than we think we do. Okay, and that itself is going to be even more leverage that we are going to have over this society we are in. And what we're going to do with that leverage depends entirely on us, right? So we may decide to press buttons, we may decide to leave it dormant, whatever works. And lastly, for us Scorpio, if we do need support, kind of like people to rally for us, they will. All right, so a minute or two, guys, and then I'm gonna do the last 4 star signs, which are gonna be Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and then Pisces. And after that, the super chat readings are going to take place. Super chat and PayPal donation readings are going to take place. Anyone who decides to support the stream and the channel through super chat is going to have a reading at the end of the stream. That's guaranteed. But if I do agree, the traditional thought, they do have a kind of a pull toward them, so to speak. Doesn't mean that they do like them, though. I mean, the pull is there, definitely, but that does not restrict me, in another way, in other words, to dislike them, because they are ugly. I don't see anything beautiful in them. All right, Sagittarius next. First one for Sagittarius, that is going to be the moon, followed by the Four of Cups, Then it is the 10 of Pentacles. Justice. And the final one for Sagittarius, that will be the Four of Swords. So quite of a unique conditions for Sagittarius. It does look like, guys, that things are gonna calm down for you. And usual predicaments that you may be facing in your life, whether about your money or whether about, you know, your relationships, those predicaments either are going to abate or straight away disappear. Okay, that is at least for the next couple of weeks, which will kind of like allow you to move your things forward. It will allow you to, in generally, you know, start attending to what you want to create, what you want to do in general. So what those cards here are showing is that this time, in the next couple of weeks, Sagittarius, you will have the condition to place your investments as you see fit, instead of being pressed of one exterior influence or another to invest your time into things you don't want to, or invest your money into things you don't want to, or invest your emotions into people, or again things that you don't want to, but instead you get to invest them where you please. And where you please shall be where, can I put it into words? So where you please will be completely aligned with the must, for the lack of a better word. Okay, because the moon shows that next couple of weeks is going to be the time for you where you are going to set a foot on a path that you are destined to walk. And once you do set your foot there, no one will be able to take it away. Now, for some, the path is going to be a relationship. For others, it's going to be a particular job, right? For third, is going to be just a way of living, living, and so on and so forth. But nonetheless, that path, once you do set foot there, you will feel kind of like emotionally the word is not distressed, more like agitated. For you will not going to be able to say how things exactly are going to turn out moving forward. And here it is where your faith is going to be tested. So the belief in your future, not just only in your future, but also in your own personal capabilities. So that was for Sagittarius. Next, we do have Capricorn. The Page of Cups for Capricorn, followed by the Hangman. Moving next, that will be the Ace of Wands, Seven of Pentacles, the Lovers. I don't know how to break it up. It refers to a postponing and delaying. Kind of like not having the dare to do it. Whether not daring to say no, whether not daring to make a move, whether, you know, you don't dare to make that change. It's a change, but you're gonna have to within the next couple of weeks, is what we do have here. Okay, for as the weeks progresses, as this lunar cycle moves forward, you're going to grow to understand more and more is that one way or the other, it's completely irrelevant. Is it right or wrong? What is relevant? It's what works for you and what doesn't. And so instead of trying to make things that doesn't want to work for you work, you are going to shift positions toward things that will work for you. Okay. So the way I see it here for you, Capricorn, is that instead of kind of like fighting for a lost cause, let's put it that way, you are going to place your chips, your bets, your money on things, jobs, people that will pay off in a long run, that is. So long story short, for what those cards are showing for you guys, it is the enough bullshit, okay? Enough loitering around, enough delusioning yourself, okay? Enough being out of touch with reality. You need to set your foot on the ground and assess the situation from within, because that's what it's gonna take here. I mean, you need to make a crucial self-reassessment and see how you look from a side. And when you see that you do look like a fool, that's when you're gonna realize that that's something that must change, one way or another. And you know what you gotta do. That's what those cards are showing here. So just do it. Right, so that was Capricorn. Next, we do have Aquarius. First one for Aquarius, that will be the Three of Cups, followed by the Two of Cups. Moving on next, that will be the Nine of Pentacles. Afterwards, that will be the Ten of Pentacles. And the final one is going to be the Four of Cups. Ain't that a bummer? Mostly affects Aquarius is personal, private. Would you say love life? Okay, and it kind of talks about who does really want you, or rather, like within the next couple of weeks, you Aquarius are to see who does really want you, and what lengths they are capable of covering for you. That is most likely, it's basically discovering the value of one person or another, and that will affect or rather, like, it's going to affect the relationship you do have with someone you already know. You don't have to be in a relationship right now, but you definitely know each other. Long story short, that you are to see that there is bigger value into that person than you thought. For example, that may play out that you will see that that person likes you or loves you, and you thought they didn't. Okay, we are to see that that person cherishes you, and you thought they didn't. and so on and so forth. So a lot of eyes opening in regards to how people accept you in the next couple of weeks, Aquarius. And what you're going to do with that information, it's entirely falls with you. But just so you know, that one of these people that you will kind of like see through them and see their true standpoint, true intentions, true feeling, so to speak, is gonna happen to be the person. For what, I cannot say, but that's what those cards are showing. Is gonna happen to be the person. Hopefully none of us, for I'm raising Aquarius here, none of us is gonna miss it. And last but not least, that will be Pisces. Two of Cups for Pisces, followed by the Emperor. Moving on next, that will be the High Priestess. The King of Pentacles. And the final one for Pisces, that will be the King of Swords. Okay. For Pisces, the story also touches their love life here. And it kind of like shows that, well, it does depend which side of the spectrum you are. Because for one, these cards may be speaking that you do want way too much. Okay. But if you are from the other side of the spectrum, those cards are saying is that you are to be set free. That doesn't mean that you are going to be left alone. Okay. It just means that you now can attend to your love life the way you see fit, without being judged, without being apprehended, okay, without being restricted, for a lack of better word. And that will help you to weave it up, so to speak, and make the shape of it the way you see fit for yourself. Now, those of you Pisces who are single, well, it's a general reading. One more time, I want to emphasize on that. But because we do have the Two of Cups and the High Priestess here, one on the first position, one on the third one, that pretty much speaks for a very deep emotional flow that you are to feel with someone that you maybe already know, right, or that you are about to meet within the next couple of weeks. Now, what is going to come out of it depends entirely on you. But if you do want things to really work out in between you two, those cards guide you through a making contact, okay, with no expectations from the other side, and additionally to it, having no requirements. Okay, so in other words, you should be pretty okay with what the other person brings on the table. If you aren't, well, obviously then you have to move on to the next one. My point is here is that if you do have a certain expectations, you may find yourself being very disappointed. Additionally to it, it's going to be very important not to bring your ego on the table, your pride, and as well your shyness. And another thing is that before you do decide to do something new, because some of you are going to have that opportunity there, okay, make sure that everything else that you are working on thus far, job-wise, socially wise, or privately wise, is pretty well sorted out, and there isn't much where things can go south, because otherwise the more chances you leave, the more can I put it into words, the more risks you are to take. All right, so that was for the 12 star signs, and now the super chat is going to take place. Let me get personal reading deck. Well, Jen, it's unlikely that that will change in that particular case. You're welcome, Eves. All right, give me a couple of minutes, and then Jasmine is going to be first, Anna second, Yasmin third, and then Rocky, you will be at the last, for you do have a specific inquiry. All right, Jasmine, your first one, that will be the tower. Not the tower, but the moon. I'm sorry. So we do have the moon, followed by the Page of Swords. Moving on next, that will be the Knight of Wands. The fourth one, we do have the Five of Cups. And the final one, that will be the Ace of Swords. So, Jasmine, it seems that next couple of weeks are going to be somewhat a bit uncomfortable for you, in a sense of that you will have to deal with somewhat of a awkward situations, particularly involving other people. People that knows you well, and at the very least they are considered into your semi-social circle or whatnot. So pretty much they do bear certain attachment to you. And it's just next couple of weeks you are going to have a lot of inconvenient and awkward conversations with those people about what you are going to do, how you are having your life, you know, what you're planning for the future. And in generally, these conversations will touch on a very, very private things on your behalf, which are related to the future you intend to have, or you intend to strive for. And those conversations are going to be in regards to the differences. Now, for example, that is just for example, let's say that you do want to move, okay, and certain you want to move in a different state. If you're living in the United States, I don't know where you're living, but for example, you do want to move on a different state, or you do want to move in a different town, but a friend you have, they don't want you to move, and they will try to convince you out of it. But the thing is that you know, neither you will be able to convince them why that you moving is a good thing for all of you, neither they will be able to convince you you not moving and staying will be better for you. So pretty much, if you do indulge these conversations, I can't really make them conflicts, but conversations. So if you do indulge those conversations, literally no one will benefit from it. The only thing that is going to happen is that you are going to get delayed, and additionally you will be more how can I put it into words, more negative emotions are going to fester. Instead, next couple of weeks, you should make the moves that you see fit and that you had planned of pretty much doing. One thing it's important to be mentioned here for you, it is once you do involve yourself into something, including those conversations, you do have to see it through. There will be no chance for you withdrawing from it, at least not for the next couple of weeks. For that matter, you should be very careful what you do involve yourself into and what you do allow to go around you. But next couple of weeks also are going to be full with how can I put it into words, with quite of an interesting enterprises you to take a part of. And interest is a key thing here, so you gotta follow your interest, not your best friend's interest, not your colleague's interest, not your family interests, not your even lover, if you do have one, interests, your interest. Okay, that's what you need to follow here. If you do need a help about something, very likely is to come around. But important thing to note is that the next couple of weeks are going to be very decisive for your future. The good thing is that you can't mess it around. Okay, you can't mess anything around. You just can, the worst that you can do is to make it harder on yourself. That is the, how can I put it into words, the punishment if you kind of like do mistakes. Okay. Next, Anna. The Fool is the first one for you, Anna. Followed by Three of Pentacles. Moving on next, that will be the Five of Wands. Afterwards, we do have the World. And the final one, that will be the Six of Pentacles. So pretty much for you, this new moon is you learning when you have to just move on, okay? Or rather like when you just have to move on to the next thing, because you pretty much... Well, the way I can explain it is very cynical, so I'm not going to say it that way, so I'm going to try it that way. These couple of weeks you will understand when one thing is done and nothing more can be done about it, and it's time for you to try out something different, or try out some kind of a different perspective in front of you. And now listening to that reading, you may think of that, I don't know, I don't have any new perspectives. Yes, you may not have one now, but you are about to. For that Five of Wands being here into the third position for you, Anna, it kind of shows that, you know, the not the path forward, but I would say it that way, what will happen in the next couple of weeks as a circumstances, okay? It's anyone's guess. I should do the cynical version too, okay? I will do it. So you should stop raping the corpse of your current enterprises, okay? That is what came to my mind. And instead of move on to new enterprises, okay? You gotta realize when you are going to realize when something is dead and nothing more can come out of it, and just you gotta move on to the next thing. That could be a relationship, that could be a business incentive, something like that. And yeah, it's that is what came into my mind. I don't know why. So you may think of that right now you don't have any options available, but you are about to with that Five of Wands. And the thing about the Five of Wands it is that it could manifest through the most unusual options available, okay? Because we do have the Fool here into the first position, you pretty much must be open for anything, even if it is an enterprise that you had failed before in, okay? So here it could manifest into a way that you may have a second chance. How exactly I cannot say, you know, it could happen literally through anything. But what else I can tell you here, Anna, it is that you should not rely on many people around you. That Three of Pentacles being into the third position, any cooperation you strive to do into the next couple of weeks, any discussions, any seek for support is going to be anything else but productive and fruitful, okay? So whenever you do have an incentive to start a new enterprise, think of it that way. Can I do it by myself? And if you cannot, well then that thing it is not exactly for you yet. Okay, so you move on to the next one. And that is pretty much what we have for you here. But with that Six of Pentacles at the end of the reading, most of the options available you will have are going to be very well suited for you. All right, Yasmin next. You're welcome, Anna. Ace of Wands for you, Yasmin. Followed by the King of Pentacles. Next one, that will be the Two of Pentacles. The fourth one, it is the Nine of Swords. And the final one is going to be the Devil. It's great. Yasmin, that will be that will be a short one because it's pretty telegraphed. Okay, it's pretty niched, so to speak. So what we have here is new gainful enterprise showing up for you. What kind of an enterprise, that cannot be said. I can, for example, use Lenormand cards to see, but I will not gonna do that. That enterprise could vary. It could be a lot of things. Could be new job offer, for example. It could be, you know, a new person to date with, for example. It could be a new place to rent or to buy. This new enterprise, it will be a fearful one. Okay, that will be something you will be afraid of being a part of. So if you are afraid to fall in love again, or if you are afraid that you are going to be, for example, approved for a certain job, and when I say afraid, I mean afraid that you are not going to be able to handle it, or you will do a shitty job about it, okay, and those kind of things. So whatever you're afraid of, that's where it manifests, and it will be very, very gainingful. And well, this is why you are afraid. You are afraid for what those cards are showing here, Yasmin. You will be afraid because that will be something you want. It will be a yearning. And therefore, if you fail, it goes away forever. This is going to be the source of the fear. Okay? But it doesn't look like that there is any grounds for it. Okay? So if you are, for example, if you are afraid of speaking out because your husband, if you do have one, or a boyfriend or a girlfriend, whatever your preferences are, is going to leave you, well, you will have the gainful enterprise within the next couple of weeks to get your point across, okay? And simultaneously overcoming your fear of being left alone. For even if that happens, kind of like you will have the mindset that, you know, if you are alone, that is for the better. And this will, how can I put it into words? This will let you leave behind a lot of outdated concepts, a lot of outdated standards, and it will make you more accustomed to what the future holds for you. And for what those cards are showing, the future holds for you a beautiful things, beautiful enterprises. And by the way, it does look like that very, very soon, and you are going to start to do so within the next couple of weeks, uncovering some kind of a slumber talent, a talent that you always possessed but you never needed, and that's why you don't even have any idea that you do have that talent, but you're going to start uncovering it. Can you transform it into something monetary? Well, that only time will tell, right? Because that could be a talent, for example, to read the stars, like being an astrologer. It could be a talent in some kind of a craft, all right? And you may end up monetizing it, or you may end up just, you know, having it for fun, whatever the case. The thing is that you will have one more thing in your arsenal to be more special about. And now, Rocky, with your questions. So let's check it out. Those are your cards, Rocky. You feel out of place, for you are out of place. Okay? And you just gotta know your place. So what those cards are showing here, Rocky, is that you are trying to take initiative. All right? You're trying to show your value, or that's not the expression. It's more like you're kind of, okay, so you're trying to give your best, and that crosses people. Okay, that crosses people. It instills standard that others don't want to keep up with, and that's why you do feel out of place. So you are hired to do a specific job. You just do the job, right? You are not hired to do anything more than that. Simple as this. That is what you gotta do. You gotta know your place. Even if the for example, let me give you an example. Let's say that you come up with something and you want to present it in front of the boss, or you don't go directly to the boss. You go through your supervisor, and your supervisor goes through whomever. The thing is that there is a strict hierarchy there, and you gotta keep up with the hierarchy. You gotta know your place in the hierarchy and don't cross it over, for a lack of better word. So yeah, I know that you may think that initiative is appreciated thing, not in the place you're working at least not right now. Okay, at least not right now. So there are certain line of work, but how can I put it into words? A style of work that you will have to abandon, no matter how much you wish to keep it up with, because it's out of place, and that's why you do feel out of place. Now, is that job for you? Definitely. With the Ace of Pentacles, definitely it is for you. I mean, there you can have you can reach quite of a nice pay, okay? But you are way too small for it now. You just started. You are a rookie, and you gotta behave like a rookie, okay? Or rookie. Yeah, so you have to behave like that. That is the answer to your question. It's very simple. Another example here is that if you are trying to be friendly, okay, that is also crossing your place. You are trying to be friendly with your supervisor. You are beneath them, okay? So you're not supposed to be their friend, okay? Just go there, do your job, and that's that. Simple. I hope that helps. This is the answer of the cards. I don't know if you liked it or not, but it is what they say. So no initiative unless asked upon, because you will be asked upon, all right? But doing it on your own accord, it's not going to be seen with your boss may like you for it, but all of the team of supervisors and whatnots are going to be against you because you pretty much crossed them. Hello, Athena. And that's going to be it for tonight, guys. Thank you so much for watching and for your attendance. Thank you so much for your generosity, and we're going to see each other next time. Until then, bye.